So take two for today. I normally do it all in one, but I'm noticing that as I record some of these during my prep period that people come in. So I just had some students come in to ask to interview me about what freedom of speech meant to me. So, all right, anyway. So fighting off a migraine today, but we're going to make it through. Got speech and debate practice still to come. Got building leadership team still to come, but we're going to keep on pushing. Today, I was just kind of struck by, as I was heading into my fifth and sixth period world history classes, I had something that I wanted to do. You know, we wanted to kind of have a survey of African civilizations before 1500s and kind of, get a snapshot of each of these and look at important factors from each of these different and varied civilizations that are across Africa, from, southern Africa and Great Zimbabwe, over to Western Africa with the Mali Empire. And so, I had an idea of what I wanted to accomplish. I had some sources that students could use, but I couldn't really decide how I wanted to have students do it. And then, I started to think more about as I was prepping is, just give the students a choice. Let them have the decision as to how we process and go through this information, whether that's, through individual work time or shoulder partner work time, kind of going through this, or if we wanted to jigsaw it out to different groups and then they would present the information to their peers. And so that's what I ended up doing. I gave classes a choice of how we wanted to do it, and both my classes for this content chose different ways of doing it, and both were successful in how they got that information, and they had buy-in because that's what they chose. So it was it's pretty interesting, because sometimes I think when we choose things as teachers, that's just the way it is. It doesn't have that buy-in. But ultimately, it brings up this broader question of, as teachers, we have so much on our plate. We have so much going on. It's really hard to customize every student's education, right? To make it where they get to choose what they study and how they study and what they produce and how they demonstrate their knowledge. But ultimately, that's how we move to culturally responsive teaching. And there's plenty of obstacles that are going to always get in the way, right? Our class sizes, we have too many students per class, and that increases the workload on teachers away from being able to do this type of work and just trying to manage life. And that's the thing that I think I constantly am trying to guard against, is just becoming like a default teacher where I'm so busy and I'm going through so many things that I'm constantly just defaulting back to what I've done before and back to one way of doing it and sending out to all my classes. So look for ways. I try to look for ways to increase student choice, whether that's the product that they're creating, whether that's the specific topic that they're going to be looking into and studying, whatever it may be. The more places and more avenues that you can provide for them to be able to achieve their own learning and build with that, I think the more successful ultimately will be. Yeah, it takes some work to front load that, but it's pretty amazing to relinquish that control and to give it over to students and to see where it is. So today wasn't like a big thing, right? Like we weren't doing a big project-based thing where they got to design it, like in my Race in the U.S. class, where they decide the topic and they decide the product that they're going to make, and have all types of varying of how they're going to accomplish that. This was just a small thing, but it's still choice. So be thinking about that and what works for your students and how you can increase choice within what you're doing now without overhauling the whole thing and throwing it out. Although ultimately, I think that's what we do need in education. But be flexible and give students lots of choices. And we'll see you next time.